It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Charles Kuralt.
America's rainforest is one of the great treasures of the world, and we're about to pay a visit there with Betsy Aaron. You might think about this as you watch. The beauty you're about to see will not be there for your children to see. America's rainforest is being systematically cut down. A lot of it is being turned into pulpwood and shipped to Japan. We worry about Brazil destroying its rainforest. We're doing a much faster job destroying ours.
Carpeting the western edge of North America is a forest of magnificent proportions.
And it stretches for 2,000 miles up this coast. And to see the kind of thing that I saw going on was exceedingly painful. And that's when Karen and I really realized that we had to do something more than just talk. We had to really take a role in it ourselves and try to make a difference.
And so photographer Gerry Ellis and his wife, writer Karen Kane, combined their talents in a book of tender words and exquisite photographs. They describe the great Pacific forest that runs from Northern California to Alaska, and they call it America's rainforest.
It is a true rainforest, and that's what we're trying to get people to understand is they tend to think that the only rainforest that exists is going to be in Brazil or going to be in Indonesia or West Africa. And in fact, this is the rarest rainforest on Earth. There's nothing else like this. We're talking about trees that if it was standing at a goalpost on a football field and fell, it would crash right through the other goalpost at the other end of the field.
Abundant rain and the almost constant moisture qualify it as a rainforest. The climate marks it as temperate rather than tropical in nature. It was in Australia where Gerry Ellis achieved his first success more than a decade ago, and he has continued to travel the world. At 35, Ellis is one of the world's foremost nature photographers, and he has one of the largest collections of pictures of African chimps and great apes. Ellis has documented anthropologist Jane Goodall's work with apes. His work is shown on countless travel posters.
And the gorilla book?
Gorilla books come in January.
January.
When I come back from Africa.
And then the next two in October.
Gerry and Karen live in a small house in Portland, Oregon. An upstairs room serves as Gerry's studio. Karen works at the Portland Zoo, and it is she who helped convince Gerry to turn his camera closer to home.
We don't have to fly thousands of miles to see this. We can literally get in a car and drive an hour out of a metropolitan area like a Seattle or a Portland, and presto, there's this magical place that has existed for thousands of years. Some of these trees are the same types of creatures that dinosaurs actually browsed the tops of.
But it was the ugliness they saw that pushed them to do the book.
I didn't expect to see the kind of thing going on in our own forest that I saw in places like the Amazon basin or in Indonesia. And that was a tremendous level of destruction, which I just never would have guessed. And it really hurt, especially since I grew up here.
The ugliness may have pushed them, but it is the beauty they captured. Listen to the words of Karen Kane.
In a cycle as old as the forest, salmon obey a timeless imperative to return to the conifer-lined streams in which they were hatched to mate, lay eggs, and then die. There's a huge fish right behind you there. Of course, he came close when you had your back turned. In evolution's last attempt to assure survival of the fittest, only the strongest will make it into the shallow pools to pass on their genes to the next generation.
They seem a perfect combination, this gentle poet and the athletic, enthusiastic photographer who becomes one with his subject, a piece of the landscape.
I have found the perfect excuse in life to play. Let's draw your dream, and then let's call it reality someday. And that's exactly what's happened to my life. And you keep thinking that someday you're going to wake up and somebody's going to say, now you have to go to work. Your dream is over. What's so amazing about great gray owls in particular is the fact that they seem to have this indifference to human beings, and they stare right through you. So you can walk up to within, a foot of the owl sometimes, and it will look through you as if you're not even there. You don't even exist. To get face to face with a slug, you have to literally lay down in the mud, in the forest floor, and get down in their world. I mean, you're looking at something that's not more than a half an inch tall to the top of its antenna. And so to get face to face with, this is really classic of this kind of coastal rainforest, where you get heaps and heaps of fog and mist moving through these trees, and much of this moisture is collected in the tree canopy.
The Native American impact on these woods gets its own chapter. And perhaps the most poignant paragraph comes not directly from Karen Kane, but from Chief Seattle. The chief ceded much of these woods to the white man in 1854.
Every part of the earth is sacred to my people. Every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods is holy in the memory and the experience of my people. This we know. All things are connected like the blood of one family. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons of the earth. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself.